learned on, you know, this isn't to, like, just a pre-warning. It's not to detract from, like, anybody. It's not to make anybody feel bad, or if you got a ticket, you're able to drop like 10 G's on a 2-hour show or whatever it is. Like, I mean, good for you. You must be doing well if you can just not throw away, but like, if you got 10 G's, just like spend, basically, you know, good for you. Even if I had it, it wouldn't go into an evening for anybody. I don't know. I might do like a second part to this on Patreon. I don't know. Yeah, I'll get more into like the topic of like the whole Taylor Swift thing. Like, for those who don't know, if you're not from Cincinnati, she's coming to town. She's not stopping in any neighboring states, really, so that, like, it's bringing a ton of people into this area from Indiana, from all over Ohio. She's not performing anywhere else in Ohio right now. And it's like the topic of the week or month or whatever. It's like the busiest week. There's a lot of sports stuff going on in Cincinnati. Yeah, it's actually pretty crazy, pretty awesome for all those guys. It's, yeah, FC, Reds, they're doing well again. I just feel for like diehard fans that don't happen to have, like, you know, 1 G to drop on a nosebleed, you know, or parent, you know. Obviously most of these people are too young to work, so it's like, I mean, times are hard, you know. It's I know they aren't struggling, which is, you know, good for them, but it's like the idea of like saying yes to it. Maybe she didn't want to be left out. Maybe she didn't want, like, Beyonce to. Obviously, she's doing it. She's probably the one who kind of started it. But you know, maybe it's ego. Maybe, you know, you don't want to be left behind. You don't want to be like a person who makes a decision based on like niceties versus like a smart one. I don't know, but. Jet fuel is very expensive. You got to fly back home. You know, you can't stay in a second city. You know. But anyway, so everybody, there's like a big debate, and then the whole dynamic pricing. There's been many debates on that. I don't really like listen to. Like I said, I'm kind of I live in the wilderness, so probably saying things that have already been said, but I'm not hearing people say them, so I'm gonna say them. Like, you're kind of taking advantage of your fan base, basically. Like, basically the fuel, your lifeblood. It's the lifeblood of your career. Like, these people are the wind under your wings, basically, and you're basically saying, like, if you're a poor fan of mine, you're not important, basically, or like you don't get, you know, you don't get a chance to, you know. I know there's a lot of kids who very much look up to her, and you know, she's also a wholesome, you know, little bit of strong songwriting, which is increasingly rare. Yeah, I love it. I couldn't name a single song. I think the only song I've really heard was whatever that first song, like that first big hit of hers. Good times. Anyway, it's probably about of my updating on that. I don't really pay attention to how, you know, outside things. Anyway, or outside my realm, I don't know. But so anyway, back on course. Sorry, this is intense. As you can hear by this better. Like I said, I was ready. Like, I had everything set up how I wanted to say it. Like, And then it was just like basically fiasco after fiasco. But so eventually I will have, you'll see what I'm seeing on top of this. But yeah. And this one's going to be, like I said, a little bit rougher than, I'm going to polish them up, put some polish on it. Show you some Shinola. First one, I believe. Yeah, I'm sure if you're like a Swift fan or Swiftie or whatever, I'm sure you appreciate songwriting. So, the Epiphany, yes. Yeah, I was thinking about all the people that like I grew up listening, who I couldn't imagine my life without them. Basically, like, I've already deals with like, not wanting to. It's a huge thing to perform by yourself in front of a pack of people. So I was thinking about like, what would happen if I didn't have like all the basically like talisman and women people that it's like warm food when you're hungry. People, you need it. And this is gonna get way smoother as this goes on. Like I said, this has been a heck of a day. Yeah, I'm gonna be on here. I'm gonna be on the Patreon. I'm gonna be basically camped out on Patreon. Like I said, the way I am gonna set it up, it's gonna be basically like a 5 to 10 in one. Like I said, beats, live instrumentals, songwriting. Yeah. And with this, it's all coming into one, basically one. So that's what it's been up until. It's basically been years of me getting good on like at 100 different things. But I like the long route. I like the scenic route. It's I like the wilderness. But I also don't have like anything to show for it other than like my ability and my the knowledge that I've compiled. But so that's basically what it's been. 10 years of me putting out music. Some goods, a lot, not so much. And basically focusing on all the different aspects. It's hard to focus on all of them. You can't really do that on your first project unless you got like a team of people. But who has that? A good analogy would be like film school. You part of the course is you make short films, and maybe that's like the last course. I don't know, or the last assignment. But anyway, you make student films, and then you basically like you're learning, and you focus on like maybe one or two main things with each piece, and you're like, this piece is about the main thing I want to get across with this is like underlying theme of blank, whatever you want it to be,